Hey guys, Miss McMullen here, coming to you live from session 3, part 2, keeping track of problems that multiply. Yesterday we did part 1, which was where you were listing out all of your characters and just what you knew about those characters. So just to recap, remember, let me move my face out of the way, that good readers always notice even the minor characters. Keep track of their influence in the story because someone very, very small can have a big influence on what happens in your story. The second one here is that good readers see how the settings in fantasy novels often change and that how they can place new obstacles in front of the characters. And good readers always notice that their complex books have multiple problems. It's not a one problem, one solution type of book anymore when you get to 5th grade. And good readers always know that some problems are going to get resolved, some problems will not. So today we're kind of going to go in between this 3rd and 4th bullet here about the problem. So sophisticated readers of fantasy, we have a new little, oh my goodness, my cat's coming in for the lesson right now because she wants to learn about fantasy books also. So hope you guys don't mind me having a guest because clearly she's taken over my lap right now. Sophisticated readers of fantasy, we already know that they research the setting, they ask about power, they learn alongside the main character. Our new little post-it today is that they keep track of multiple problems. So like in the slide before, oh my goodness, I can't focus with you trying to rub up on me. Okay, let's go over here. All right, sorry. Good readers of fantasy notice that your book has multiple problems. Some get solved, some do not. So today that's what you guys are going to be doing for me in your work time. But I want to show you an example first. So this is from the book Dragon Slayers Academy. Have any of you read that before? In a regular classroom, probably some of you would say back, yeah, I have, or no, I haven't, but right now I'm talking to my computer, asking my computer a question. So maybe you're at home right now saying, yeah, Miss McMullen, I've read Dragon Slayers Academy, or no, Miss McMullen, I've never read that one before, but it sounds pretty good. So thanks for talking back to your computer as well. I feel like I'm going crazy right now, huh? Okay, so this is an example of what you guys are gonna do for work time today. I'm trying to figure out where I wanna put my face. I'm gonna put my face right down here because it's not covering up any of the text. So it's the title of this chart is Tracking Problems and Solutions / Changes. So what this means is that sometimes a problem doesn't necessarily get solved, but it changes a little bit, okay? So we have 4 different columns here. The first one is the character, then we've got the problem, the solution or the change, and then by the end of the story. So I know that you guys have just started your read aloud book, so you might not be able to fill out everything in the end, like everything over here. You might know about a problem like how it is in the end, and you can put it there if you want, but it's okay today if that column is a little bit blank or you're not really sure what to put in that. So Dragon Slayers Academy, a student filled this out and this is what their chart looked like. So you've got our first character here, Wiglaf. He has a couple different problems. So remember, good readers notice when your book has multiple problems. Look at all of these different problems this reader noticed in this book. Wiglaf needs gold. So what does he do? What's the solution to that? He kills a dragon. What? Definitely fantasy if he's killing a dragon. Sorry, I need to take my watch off also because you guys are blowing me up. Okay, so let me get back to this. Wiglaf, his problem is that he needs gold. His solution is that he kills a dragon in order to get gold. But at the end, it kind of causes a new problem because they have this new character, Mordred, and he takes the gold. So that's what happens at the end of that story. Now, like I said, you might not be able to fill out the end part, but that's what happens in the story. Another problem that Wiglaf had was that he was poor, okay? The solution or change was that he couldn't keep the gold because Mordred took the gold, so he can't keep it. So his problem doesn't really get solved, it gets changed. And by the end, he's still poor, so it's still a problem. It's not really solved. Another problem he had was that he wanted to kill a dragon, so his solution was he killed a dragon. At the end, though, he found out he hated killing dragons. Okay. Eric is another character. Eric wants to impress everyone by killing a dragon. That's his problem. He wants to impress people. So what does he do? He goes with Wiglaf and finds the dragon. At the end of that, though, it doesn't really get solved because he can't figure out how to kill the dragon. Wiglaf kills the dragon, and so he doesn't get to impress people. So his problem of wanting to impress everyone doesn't really get solved in the end. And then another problem that Eric has is Eric's a girl. The change or the solution of that is that he dresses as a boy, and at the end, he still hasn't told anyone. So this is just an example for you guys. If you've never read that book, hopefully you're starting to see and understand the way I'm talking about it, how you're gonna write out what are some different problems that your characters might have. Are they solved? Are they changed in any way? And then maybe you might know what happens after that. So here's what your slide today is gonna look like. So it's blank for you. I've only filled out the top, just the labels. So I want you to think of at least 2 characters like our person on the slide before did. Oops. Like our person on this slide had 2 characters, Wiglaf and Eric. I want you guys to pick at least 2 characters. You might do more than 2, that's fine, but don't only do 1. The expectation here is that you are doing 2 characters. So try to think, what types of problems do these 2 characters have? I'm reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, so I'm obviously gonna do Jacob as one of my characters. If you're reading Harry Potter, probably you're gonna choose Harry as one of your characters. He has lots of problems. And then if you're reading Percy Jackson, you might choose Percy Jackson. I've never read that book, so I don't know what the main character's name is. So I'm just assuming that it's Percy Jackson. But pick at least 2 characters from your book. So I might choose Grandpa Portman and Jacob, and then I'm gonna write out what are some problems that Jacob faces in this story so far. Obviously, I'm not at the end, so I don't know what happens at the end or the kind of, other problems. But what are a couple problems that Jacob is experiencing? Do they get solved or do they get changed in some way? Like, does something happen to that problem? And then by the end of the problem, like what's happening? Like I said, you might not be able to fill this out if you're not really sure, or if your character's in the middle of working through that problem. Okay, so at least 2 characters today, as many problems as you can think of, because remember that good readers keep track of multiple problems in the story. Your reflection today is going to be pretty quick. I want you to just highlight the problem you think is the biggest. So what is the biggest problem? So what you're going to do is you will highlight your text, whichever one you're choosing. So if you're choosing this problem, you'll highlight it by clicking on this right here where it says highlight color, and you can pick a color to highlight your text. So just highlight what you think is, so far, out of the ones that you wrote, what is the biggest problem, okay? So just to recap, today you are going to fill in the chart to the best of your abilities. Use this one from this lesson as your model. So use the one from Dragon Slayers Academy as your model if you're confused or if you don't know how to do it. Also, I showed you guys how to tag me in comments, so tag me if you have any questions also. Just to the best of your abilities, what are some problems that you're noticing that your characters have? Your reflection today is to highlight which problem you think is the biggest so far. There might later be even a bigger problem than that in your story. You might not have gotten to the biggest problem yet, but what do you think so far is the biggest problem? Alrighty, so that was my lesson for today. We had an interruption by a cat. You might have heard Harper coming in crying. I don't know if it was loud enough for you guys to hear, and I got distracted by my watch. So it sounds like it was a great lesson today. Hopefully you guys were able to pay attention a little bit more than I was. I'm looking forward to seeing your charts, and I will see you tomorrow for our next lesson. Bye-bye.